nullified by how well they shot it from three.
Shooting really makes winning on the road a lot easier.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. On the court for Atlanta, they've got Horford, Paul, Dennis Schroeder, and it's Simmons in at the 2 spot. So the Chicago Bulls able to put up the first points on the board. And that one's good.
Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie.
And so here is Chicago. They came away with the victory in their last meeting, which, by the way, was also in this building.
And we've talked about how in the NBA you've got to earn your points the hard way. And that really wasn't the case in that game for them.
No, there was no hard way about it. I mean, they got their points easily on dunks and layups against the defense that really didn't offer much of a fight. That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
Lewis kicks to Rose. And it's Chicago scoring again.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
The pass to Horford. He kicks it to Millsap. Here's Simmons. And there's the foul. It goes on Jimmy Butler. That's his first foul.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Yeah, but in this moving there and never really had good legal guarding position. He wasn't set.
And in the first, a little over a minute and a half in. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Nowitzki. So it's Chicago now. Clark, their offense has been great here.
Yeah, I love the way they've looked. Really strong and together.
Yeah, the ball movement has been terrific, and they've kept the defense off balance.
And that one's good by Butler.
And early on, they looked great. They've made all 4 of their shots to start this game.
Nowitzki gets a wide open look. And it's off from three-point range. The Bulls have gone 4 of 4 to start, so a nice offensive rhythm to start here. Rose dishes to Lewis. And Horford pulls it down.
Well, you know what? All good things must come to an end, and they finally miss after making their first 4.
Now here's Schroeder. Tight defense on him. Picked by Horford. Schroeder passes to Horford. He got right to the cup using that screen.
Now, how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
And it's Rose penetrating. That's a miss. He's made one and missed one. The Hawks trail by 4. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
Schroeder kicks to Horford. Here's Simmons, defended by Butler. Just 5 on the clock. And it's Schroeder missing. The Bulls leading by 4. Outside Butler. Outside for Lewis. The shot's good on the assist by Butler.
And a really good way to start the game. He's a guy who's going to give you problems.
Pass to Millsap. Here's Simmons, defended by Butler. And that one's good. Millsap.
You know what, guys? He can really light it up from the perimeter at times.
The Atlanta Hawks come into this one following a loss to Boston.
Yeah, they just caught a team, Kevin, that was in a zone. They didn't have the manpower defensively to disrupt them.
Hey, zone or no zone, I expected a little more fight out of them than what they showed. I mean, they never strung together any stops like they needed to.
Atlanta with the ball, following the three-point attempt by Nikola Mirotic. Here's Schroeder. No good. That would have tied it. For Chicago, they've gone 5 of 8 from the field, shooting over 62%. And a wide-open look for Freak. The long-distance three is buried. Lewis has got 7 points in the game. A chance now to go over to Doris Burke, who had a chance to talk with head coach Mike Budenholzer.
One player he said he's worried about in this game is Pau Gasol. He said with his length and touch, it's really hard to bother that shot. We're going to try to be physical with him, body him up early, and deny him position. And guys, that's what a lot of teams try with Gasol. Force him to really battle through contact. We'll see how it works.
And thank you for that, Doris. Well, if the pressure's increased in the second half of the season, you would know it from looking at these numbers these wingmen have put up from the free throw line since All-Star. Freak number 1.
In the first quarter, in the clutch, whenever, as consistent as they come.
Well, you look at him at the line, you can't tell if it's a preseason game or the NBA Finals. Demeanor and stroke never wavers.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Joakim Noah is checked in for Gasol. Portis comes in for Mirotic, and McDermott subbed in for Jimmy Butler. Hawes with the block, and that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession. .124 left to play in the first quarter. Back to Lewis. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Teague on the double team. They get it again. Noah. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And a moment here to see the numbers on Derrick Rose. A strong stretch of play the last 10 games. 6 in assists. And not many players convert opportunities inside as well as he. Top 15 in field goal percentage.
And, you know, his floor awareness undeniable. You know, as you pointed out, he's great at drawing the defense and then making the perfect pass in stride.
Now here's Splitter. 9 points last game. And once again off the mark by Atlanta. The Bulls leading by 7. There's a screen. Off the pick. Can't get it to go. And Atlanta will come the other way. All going up court. Schroeder passes to Splitter. Outside Teague to the inside, and he gets it to go. Hawes got his first points of the night.
They are really doing a nice job establishing a presence inside early.
Yeah, and watch, Clark, how the game plays out, because this is going to open things up on the perimeter.
Back to Rose. The tray. Rebound, Atlanta.
That's a shot you've got to take if you're looking for the three-pointer. I mean, the defense was nowhere around.
Teague kicks to Hawes. Schroeder passes to Splitter. Teague dishes to Schroeder. Pass to Splitter. And he uses the glass on the layup.
And that assist got him. A little nod from his teammate after that one.
Here's Rose. Outside Lewis. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. 10 points for Freak.
Such a height mismatch out on the perimeter, and they give up the triple.
And that concludes the first quarter of play. It's the Bulls up 6. And we'll be back in just a moment with the start of the second quarter. And the Gasol brothers, both starters in the All-Star game last season. It's the first time that's happened in NBA history. Pau talked about the joy of sharing the NBA stage with his brother Mark.
It's like a dream come true. It's hard to really...
Well, their story is a bit like a fairy tale, the way two of them. Group here. Withey's checked in for Noah. Gasol comes in for Portis. Mirotic is checked in for Robert Covington. And Lewis subbed in for Rose. And a change for the Hawks. Smith is checked in. On the court for Atlanta. Josh Smith and Al Horford, the big men. Then there's Teague. Then there's Paul Millsap. And it's Simmons in at the shooting guard. And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for the Bulls.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
And the other thing they've done well is they've run the shooters off their sweet spot.
Teague against Butler. Teague kicks to Horford. And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession. And the Hawks making a change here.
Spencer Hawes. Jared Dudley.
Chicago leading by 6. Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the any miss. What a show it was as he put up some really amazing numbers when it was all said and done. Even we marveled at his performance, Kevin.
Great job, Doris. Thank you, guys. It's going to be very interesting to see if he can stay in a role like that tonight.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes those hot streaks can last for days, and I'm sure they'll be feeding him the basketball, hoping he's still got that mojo working.
Well, they ought to. I mean, when you've got a thoroughbred like him, I think you've got to ride him for as long as he'll carry you.
And that's a huge play. I mean, they need more like it because second chance points are going to be key in this game.
Probably so. That's usually a crucial element to any comeback.
Yeah, and if you look at it, had they been converting those second chances all along instead of waiting until now, who knows?
Now Schroeder following the three-point attempt by Freak. Schroeder passes to Douglas. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. And now just a 5-point Bulls lead. Chicago's gone 4 of 8 tonight from three-point land, shooting 50% on the three ball here. Lewis misses. Atlanta's gone 2 of 3 when they've stepped beyond the arc in the second quarter. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
And, you know, the defense gets their money's worth on that foul, stopping the layup and not giving up the and one.
McDermott's checked in for Pau Gasol. And a switch here also for Atlanta. Splitter's checked in for Smith. And so Teague hits 2 free throws.
That's a familiar sight. He hardly ever wastes his chances at the line. Cashes in regularly.
Butler with the ball. Picked up by Teague. They swipe it. Now here's Dudley. T right on him. Schroeder kicks to Teague. The second chance effort. Count that one. The Bulls' lead has been cut down to just 1 on the basket from Splitter.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
And he gets it to go.
Well, they've really cranked up the intensity, tracking down those loose caroms, stacking up second chance buckets in a big pile.
Yeah, and those hustle points are just another reason they're in control.
Now here's Splitter. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. Dudley's shot is good.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting in the paint and keep scoring points. Keep it going.
Not a lot you can do as a defense when they keep getting the ball in the paint like this.
Here's Lewis. 35 points for him last game against the Bucks in Milwaukee.
And don't forget his unbelievable steal total in that game. I mean, almost to the point they didn't want to bring the ball up the floor.
Lewis against T. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. For Atlanta, they have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2.
Yeah, looking over their percentage on the season, I think they will be thrilled with the number in terms of their free throw percentage, 79.
One of the things they've done, guys, is taken pride in their free throw shooting this season, and rightfully so.
Free throw good. Teague. And so Teague hits 2 free throws. 6 seconds left to play in the first half. Outside Lewis. And we're through the first half of basketball here, and what's been a good one. Bulls lead by 1. From the United Center in Chicago, back in a moment.
All right, listen up, everybody. The second half doesn't have to be as close as the first if we pay it.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far.
Talk about great numbers for Freak. 15 points, and he sprayed home 3 3-pointers as well.
This is really production personified from long range.
Rose is the 1 with Butler as the 2. Pau Gasol is out there with Mirotic, and it's Lewis in at the small forward. And that's the group for Fred Hoiberg as we begin the second half. And here's Millsap from the arc. And the rebound goes to Pau Gasol. Gasol's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Millsap with the steal. Schroeder with the ball. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Here's Nowitzki, hits the jump hook. Nowitzki's got it going here in the start of the second half. The first points in the third quarter for the Hawks. Gasol setting the pick for Rose. Lewis on the wing. This one for 3. And there's Derrick Rose on the assist by Lewis. Rose has got 5 points so far.
You might not think of him as a laser 3-point shooter, but that shot was there for him, and he had to take it.
They set the pick. Now here's Schroeder. He's covered by Rose. 5 on the clock. And the call will be against Al Horford. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Third quarter of basketball, about a minute and a half in. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Rose.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
For Atlanta, they've gone 1 of 3 since starting the second half. And this, now a list of guys who can shoot as well as they can pass it. The point guards with the highest shooting percentage in the NBA. Derrick Rose, number 1.
And that percentage is what you'd expect to see from your big men. I mean, to get it from a guy who spends most of his time on the perimeter says a lot about his efficiency.
He has been absolutely deadly from the field, and that's because he's just as good at creating his own shots as he is at getting shots for his teammates. He knows how to find the open looks.
Lewis on the way. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot. Here's Millsap. No luck. Great D that time from Lewis.
Well, that's a lot of bricks by them early in the second. Only 1 make on 5 tries so far in the second half.
The Bulls shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight. The first free throw is good. Whippy's jacked in for Chicago. Robert Covington comes in for Jimmy Butler. That's also good, so he hits both free throws.
We're seeing today what makes him one of the best free throw shooters among the league's big men. Beautiful stroke.
They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. Now, here's Schroeder. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. This is to Nowitzki. Lewis grabs the board. Lewis has got his 6th rebound on the night.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole because he is just not there offensively.
Rejected by Millsap. A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. That is good. And it's 7 points for Nowitzki.
Well, he knew how many inches he had over the guy. I mean, let's face it, good decision to just rise up and take the jump shot.
Gasol screen, back to Lewis. It's stolen by Schroeder. The feed to Horford. Over to the left wing. Here's Simmons. He's covered by Rose. Millsap has the open look, and it's good. Assisting on the play was Nowitzki. That's now 8 points for Millsap.
A good look there, and he didn't waste it. His second 3 of the game.
Right here, over these last 10 games on the Bulls schedule, Kevin, this is how they stack up. First in field goal percentage. First in three-point field goal percentage. And they're also number 1 in free throw shooting. A team that makes foul shots gives itself and its coaching staff a lot of confidence.
You said it all right there. The hottest shooting team in the league. And that tells you not only are they shooting it well, but they're also focused on creating terrific opportunities for one another.
Solid on the one-hand throw down there.
You know, Clark, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, and one reason why, I just don't know that I've ever seen him miss a play like that.
Kept alive. Here's Noah, and so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2.
You know, I love how he absorbs the foul and still had a chance to knock that one down.
Boy, terrific play there. I thought even with all the contact, he still was going to get that shot to go down.
And the Bulls making a change here. McDermott's checked in. Atlanta also making some changes here. Splitter's checked in for Nowitzki. And Dudley subbed in for Paul Millsap. Noah hits them both. Atlanta's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. T kicks to Hawes. Another 3 for Atlanta.
Excellent ball movement there, guys.
And that's keyed this run. Passing it with purpose. The D hasn't been able to keep up.
Now here's Rose. He has 5. Portis, and the foul called on Freak. That's his 3rd foul of the game.